Let's face it, the narrative around single moms is often clouded with misconceptions. Some people argue that single mothers are to blame for various societal issues. But is that really true? The media, like the LA Times article that highlights the struggles of single mothers, focuses on their victimhood and claims that the traditional notion of marriage is just a myth. You often hear single moms say they are happier being single than when they were married, even though almost half of Americans think otherwise. But is this narrative driven by real-life experiences, or is it a way to justify the challenges they face? Personally, I believe there's a deeper reason behind these claims. Take, for example, the financial struggles many single moms face. The COVID-19 pandemic brought these struggles into sharper focus. Many single mothers found themselves juggling low wages, school closures, and debt while trying to provide for their children. Yet, despite all this, some claim they are happier without a partner. But is happiness really about financial independence, or is it more about managing expectations? There's no denying that the public perception of single mothers is often negative. According to data, more Americans now believe that single motherhood is detrimental to society. The argument goes that single motherhood is largely a choice, and many people feel that these moms contribute very little to society. But is that really fair? Let's dig a little deeper. Some people argue that single mothers struggle not just because of the absence of a father figure, but because of the weight of societal pressure. Single mothers, according to some, face blame for rising crime rates, poverty, and even school violence. But is this blame justified? Or is it just another way to push single mothers into a corner? Another point often made is the wage gap. Many single mothers claim they're struggling because they don't get paid enough, and that the system is rigged against them. But is that entirely true? Some experts argue that the wage gap doesn't really exist in the way it's presented. Maybe the issue isn't about pay inequality, but about opportunities missed or choices made. Think about it: if a man works hard to support his family, is that a bad thing? And if a woman chooses to raise children on her own, does that automatically make her a hero or a martyr? It's a complex question, but one that needs addressing. Another interesting observation is how single moms navigate family dynamics. Often, the narrative is that single moms have more freedom and control over their lives. But is that really a good thing? While it's true that single mothers may have more control, they often lose out on the support system that a two-parent household can provide. And let's not forget about the impact on the children. Can a son grow up without a father and still have a positive role model? Or does the absence of a male figure create more issues than it solves? There's also the issue of child custody. Some single moms use their children as leverage in custody battles, making it harder for fathers to be involved in their kids' lives. We hear stories of fathers being extorted just for the chance to see their children. Is that fair? And how does this dynamic affect the children in the long run? As much as society sympathizes with single mothers, there are always two sides to the story. Fathers are often left out of the conversation, painted as absent or uncaring, when in reality, many are fighting just to be part of their children's lives. We also have to ask, are the struggles faced by single mothers the result of systemic issues or personal responsibility? Many single moms argue that they're victims of an unfair system, be it the legal system, social stigma, or economic inequality. But others would say that single motherhood is a choice that comes with its own set of consequences, and that blaming the system only goes so far. Let's talk about marriage for a moment. There are claims that marriage itself is a trap for women, with statistics showing that married women often bear the brunt of domestic labor and child-rearing responsibilities. But is that an argument against marriage, or an argument for better partnerships? Many single mothers argue that they are happier after leaving their marriages, that they have more free time and sleep better. But is that true for all, or just a select few? And at what cost does this newfound freedom come? In the end, the discussion about single mothers is far more complex than the media often presents it. On one hand, single mothers face real challenges: financial, emotional, and social. But on the other hand, the narrative of victimhood doesn't always reflect the reality. Society needs to rethink its perception of single mothers and recognize the nuance in their experiences.